What I'm about to tell you will completely change the way you see younger women and older men. Most men are blind to this, so blind that they walk right past it, thinking it's nothing, when in reality, it's the single most powerful signal of attraction you will ever witness. If you miss this, you will continue to misread every glance, every pause, every subtle gesture she gives. You will think she's just being polite, playful, or casual, but she's not. She's showing you exactly what she wants, and it's something most men never notice until it's too late. This isn't about her words. It isn't about the compliments she throws casually or the way she laughs at your jokes. Those are distractions, illusions designed to make men feel noticed without revealing anything of real significance. The truth lies in her energy, in the way she moves around you, in the pauses she allows, in the questions she asks, and the way she studies your every reaction. Younger women do this instinctively, but very few men have the awareness to understand what it really means. If you want to know the secret to commanding her attention, holding it, and making her feel drawn to you in ways she cannot even explain, you need to watch carefully. Every second, every gesture, every subtle shift matters. Ignore it, and you'll remain invisible. Understand it, and you will become unforgettable. By the end of this video, you will see the hidden signs no man ever talks about. You'll learn how to read her energy, how to recognize when she's testing you, and how to respond in a way that makes her not just interested, but deeply captivated. You'll discover truths about attraction that are so shocking, so precise, that you'll realize you've been seeing the signals all wrong your entire life. So don't blink, don't scroll. Watch every second, because missing this could mean missing the one connection that changes everything. Have you ever noticed how a younger woman behaves differently around an older man? The change isn't obvious at first, but if you pay close attention, it's impossible to miss. When a younger woman is genuinely interested, she slows down her energy in a way that is deliberate and meaningful. It's subtle, almost imperceptible to most men, but it's one of the clearest signs of attraction. Unlike her interactions with peers her own age, where energy is fast, playful, and scattered, with an older man, her pace becomes intentional. She doesn't rush, she doesn't need to fill every silence with chatter, and she doesn't feel the pressure to impress with superficial displays. This slowing down is not a lack of excitement. On the contrary, it's a deeper expression of curiosity and engagement. She's giving herself permission to observe, to process, and to connect on a level that goes far beyond surface level flirtation. What makes this fascinating is that she's testing more than just your attention, she's testing your presence. When she slows down, she is creating a space where the conversation, the interaction, and the energy are entirely centered around you. She watches how you carry yourself in that space. Do you remain grounded, or do you fidget? Do you speak with confidence, or do you over-explain to fill the gaps? Every pause, every thoughtful response, every moment of quiet observation becomes a test, not of her interest, but of your emotional stability. If you notice it and respond with calmness, she senses strength. If you ignore it or try to speed up the interaction, she feels it immediately, and that subtle disruption can weaken the attraction before it has a chance to grow. Slowing down is also her way of creating intimacy without words. In a culture obsessed with speed, instant gratification, and constant stimulation, this deliberate pacing signals sophistication, depth, and self-awareness. She is communicating something important. She doesn't need to rush into judgments, and she's not just here to be entertained. She's here to observe, understand, and connect with a man who operates from a level of self-possession that most younger men haven't even approached. Every glance, every careful laugh, every moment of silence is calibrated to give you space to reveal yourself, to show her who you really are. The psychological truth behind this is powerful. Humans are wired to respond to calm, composed energy. Excitement and chaos trigger adrenaline, but calmness triggers trust. By slowing down, she's inviting you into a different kind of interaction, one that is measured, intentional, and profoundly engaging. This is why older men often feel a magnetic pull when a younger woman does this. It is not about her age or her beauty alone. It is about the subtle, deliberate energy she brings, which challenges you to rise to your best self. Her slowing down is a mirror, reflecting your composure, your presence, and your capacity for calm confidence. If you have ever dismissed a slower pace or mistaken a thoughtful pause for disinterest, you've missed the point entirely. This slowing down is a secret signal, a language of attraction that only those who are present can understand. It is her way of saying, I see you, I am noticing how you move, how you speak, how you respond. I am willing to invest my attention because I sense something worth noticing. And if you respond correctly, if you honor the space she creates with your own grounded presence, the connection that forms is far stronger than anything superficial or fleeting. Remember, the power of this insight is not just in recognizing it, but in responding to it consciously. The men who understand this are rare because most are too focused on immediate results, on chasing attention, or on trying to impress. The men who see the slowing down as an opportunity to demonstrate composure, presence, and intentionality are the ones who command attraction effortlessly. It is a subtle art, but it is profound in its effect. So, the next time you notice a younger woman slowing her pace around you, do not rush. Do not fill the silence. Do not overcompensate. Instead, match her calmness with your own confidence. Be present, be intentional, and in that deliberate space, you will reveal the kind of man she can trust, admire, and be drawn to in ways words could never fully explain. Because in the end, attraction is not about excitement, it is about presence. And those who master the art of presence will never be unnoticed and never be taken lightly. When a younger woman is drawn to an older man, she doesn't flirt in the way most men expect. She doesn't rely on playful teasing, loud laughter, or superficial attention grabbing. What she does is far more subtle, far more revealing, and far more powerful. She studies you. Every gesture, every word, every slight shift in energy is under her quiet observation. And if you fail to recognize it, you'll mistake it for disinterest, for a pause, for shyness, but that is exactly what it is not. She is carefully reading you, not just flirting with you. This study is intentional. She wants to understand how you carry yourself, how you respond under pressure, how your mind works. Unlike younger men who may be drawn to instant gratification, superficial charm, or flashy appearances, she is searching for depth. Her attraction is not impulsive, it is analytical. She is evaluating whether you are consistent in your energy, whether your confidence is authentic, and whether your presence commands respect without needing to demand it. She observes how you handle simple questions and complex ideas alike, because the answers reveal more than the words themselves, they reveal your character. You might notice her eyes lingering longer than normal, not because she wants attention, but because she is absorbing every subtle detail. The way you speak, the pauses you take, even your body language, these are all pieces of a puzzle she is assembling. And it's fascinating because she's not doing this consciously in the way a scientist might analyze data. She's doing it instinctively. Human beings have evolved to detect patterns, to evaluate potential mates not just for surface-level attraction, but for emotional stability, intelligence, and compatibility. This is what makes her behavior so powerful. She is exercising the natural intuition and psychological awareness that comes from experience and curiosity, and she is doing it with precision. It's important to understand that this studying is not manipulative, it's revealing. She wants to know if you are someone worth her attention, and in doing so, she is revealing herself at the same time. The questions she asks, the subtle hints she drops, even the moments of silence she allows are all signals. She is giving you the opportunity to demonstrate your composure, your awareness, and your value. And how you respond to that study determines whether she stays intrigued or begins to lose interest. Many men fail to recognize this because they are accustomed to overt signals, smiles, compliments, obvious flirtation. With an older man, younger women use a higher level of engagement, one that tests your emotional intelligence and presence. If you become defensive, insecure, or over-explain, you reveal a lack of stability, a lack of the very traits that she finds compelling. But if you remain calm, intentional, and authentic, you communicate that you operate on a different level, one she can respect and aspire toward. She will sense the difference immediately, and it strengthens the connection far more than any superficial interaction ever could. This kind of studying is also reflective of a larger truth about human connection. The deeper the attraction, the more observation there is. The more someone is genuinely drawn to you, the more they will seek to understand the essence of who you are. They want to know your mindset, your priorities, your principles, and your inner strength. This is why older men often experience such a unique and intense form of attention from younger women. She is not chasing the image you present, she is observing the man behind it, and that is the kind of attention that builds long-lasting attraction. The lesson here is clear. If you recognize that a younger woman is studying you, do not misinterpret it as casual interest or superficial play. Honor it, respond with presence, with thoughtfulness, and with confidence. Every word, every gesture, every pause is part of the dialogue she is creating with you, whether spoken or unspoken. By matching her observation with your authenticity, you demonstrate the kind of stability, composure, and insight that naturally draws her in, without needing to chase or impress. In the end, the study itself is not about her. It is about the interaction, the space you create, and the connection you both can cultivate. Recognize it, respect it, and rise to the opportunity it presents. Because the men who understand this are rare, and the women who respond to it are rare too. When it happens, it becomes more than flirtation. It becomes recognition, connection, and mutual respect on a level that few ever experience. So, the next time you notice a younger woman observing, lingering, or subtly questioning, remember, she is not just flirting, she is studying you. And how you respond will determine whether you remain a fleeting interest or become the man she genuinely admires, trusts, and cannot ignore. Presence is not given lightly, it is earned and it is noticed. When a younger woman is attracted to an older man, she does not just notice the surface, the way you dress, the way you speak, or the way you move through a room. What she is most drawn to, consciously or unconsciously, is your emotional stability. She is testing it. She wants to know if you can hold your ground, if you can remain composed, and if you can respond to her presence with quiet confidence rather than frantic energy. It is not a challenge she issues to play games. It is a signal, a measure, and a way to see if the man she is drawn to can meet her on a level deeper than the obvious. She is looking for a man whose foundation does not shake at the first sign of tension, at the subtle testing of words, or at the deliberate pauses she inserts in conversation. You see, younger women understand instinctively that confidence alone is not enough. Many men can talk the talk, but few can demonstrate it under observation. The moment she subtly tests you by asking a seemingly simple question, by teasing, by pausing to gauge your reaction, she is looking beyond the words. She is seeking proof that you are secure in your own value. How you respond to that test is far more revealing than what you might think. If you overcompensate, if you try too hard to impress, or if you react with insecurity, she feels it immediately. Her attraction diminishes because she senses instability, and in her mind, a man who cannot maintain his equilibrium is not worth the emotional investment she seeks. The testing is rarely explicit. It is found in small interactions, how you handle a compliment, how you respond to a joke that challenges your ego, the calmness in your voice when a silence stretches longer than expected. These moments, while seemingly trivial, are deeply revealing. She is assessing whether your confidence is authentic or performative. She is observing whether you can hold space without needing to dominate it. She is determining if your presence creates security rather than anxiety. And make no mistake, this is not just flirtation. This is her way of measuring your emotional intelligence, a quality that younger women recognize as rare in a world filled with superficiality. Understanding this is crucial because most men misinterpret the testing. They believe it is a game to win, a puzzle to solve, or a trap to avoid. They try to impress, to rush, to fill the silence with words, gestures, or jokes. But the truth is the opposite. She wants to see your restraint, your groundedness, your ability to remain composed while she observes. This is the very quality that differentiates older men from younger men in her mind. The older man is not frantic. He does not need constant validation. He is self-contained, and this containment is magnetic. Her subtle testing is designed to reveal whether you truly possess that quality. The psychological depth of this behavior cannot be overstated. Humans are wired to evaluate potential mates not only for their immediate qualities but for their long-term stability. Emotional stability signals reliability, security, and strength, all traits that younger women instinctively seek, even if they cannot articulate it. By testing your composure, she is engaging in a kind of silent dialogue with your character. Every measured response, every calm acknowledgement, every pause where you do not react unnecessarily builds her attraction and her trust simultaneously. She is looking for a man who can remain himself in all circumstances, because only such a man can support a connection that is authentic, profound, and lasting. Recognizing this test is the first step. Responding to it correctly is what transforms mere interest into deep attraction. The moment you realize she is not trying to manipulate you, but rather understand you, you shift your energy. You stop performing, stop overcompensating, and start being fully present. You respond intentionally, speak with clarity, and act with confidence. In doing so, you communicate the very stability she is assessing. You reveal a man who does not need to chase approval, a man whose presence itself commands attention and respect. And this is the essence of what she is searching for, not a show of bravado, not a superficial charm, but a consistent, grounded presence. A man who remains steady under subtle scrutiny demonstrates that he is capable of handling far more than a flirtatious test. He signals that he can navigate life, relationships, and challenges with composure and insight. This is the silent power that draws her in far more than words, gestures, or superficial attention ever could. So, the next time you feel her subtle testing, do not panic, do not rush, do not try to impress. Recognize it as a rare opportunity to show emotional mastery. Hold your ground, respond with calm confidence, and let your presence speak louder than words. Because younger women are drawn not to the man who reacts, but to the man who remains unshakable. Your composure is not just attractive, it is unforgettable. When a younger woman flirts with an older man, it is rarely about physical attraction alone. She is not drawn merely to the way he looks, how he dresses, or even how he presents himself superficially. What she is truly engaging with is his mind, his presence, and the psychological energy he exudes. The flirtation is strategic, subtle, and above all, psychological. She is creating a connection on a level that goes far beyond the visible, the superficial, or the obvious. And this is why so many men misread her signals. They are looking for overt signs of desire, while she is offering something far more profound, a glimpse into the architecture of her curiosity and a mirror for the depth of his own character. This psychological flirting manifests in the questions she asks, the pauses she allows, and the subtle ways she invites reflection. When she asks, "So, what drives you?" or "How do you spend your time?" she is not making small talk. She is attempting to understand the way your mind works, how you perceive the world, and whether your values align with what she finds compelling. Each word, each subtle inflection in her voice, each attentive look is designed to provoke thought, reveal intention, and elicit authenticity. She is not trying to impress you with superficial charm. She is probing to see if the man in front of her possesses the depth, stability, and insight that can hold her attention in ways that younger men cannot. Her psychological approach is deliberate because she knows that older men are not impressed by the obvious. They have seen enough to distinguish performance from presence, noise from substance, and surface-level charm from genuine intelligence. She understands that if she can engage your mind, evoke reflection, and create a sense of intrigue, she has access to something far more valuable than mere flirtation. She can invite you to show your inner self, to reveal your priorities, your principles, and your composure. In essence, she is creating a space where your authenticity becomes visible and where your character is put on display without any conscious demand. The fascinating part is that this psychological flirtation does not require manipulation or overt seduction. It is subtle, intentional, and deeply human. It relies on curiosity, attentiveness, and the ability to read energy. She mirrors, she matches, she pauses, she observes, all to gauge not just what you say, but how you respond. She is measuring emotional intelligence, self-possession, and the ability to engage thoughtfully under subtle scrutiny. And the truth is, this level of interaction can be far more powerful than physical gestures, playful teasing, or superficial compliments because it engages the mind, the heart, and the emotions. Simultaneously, many men fail to recognize the significance of this approach because they are conditioned to think in terms of immediate attraction or instant validation. They focus on visible signs such as laughter, eye contact, or smiles, while missing the underlying psychological dance. The older man who understands this realizes that her subtle mental engagement is the key to meaningful attraction. It is a way for her to assess whether he operates from a place of depth and composure rather than insecurity or impulsiveness. If he responds thoughtfully, intentionally, and authentically, she feels drawn, not just by his words, but by the clarity, stability, and strength they reveal. Understanding this psychological dynamic is critical because it reframes the way you respond. You do not need to overcompensate with charm, wit, or theatrics. You do not need to chase attention or seek validation. Instead, you respond with presence, you answer with thoughtfulness. You allow your authenticity, composure, and intentionality to speak for itself. This is what she is testing for, and this is what captivates her in a way that nothing superficial ever could. The subtle psychological flirtation of a younger woman is not just a game. It is a window into her values, her awareness, and her capacity for connection. It is a mirror reflecting the man she sees before her. And if you rise to the opportunity, you show her a level of maturity, depth, and stability that commands respect and inspires attraction simultaneously. So, the next time you notice a younger woman engaging in what seems like a quiet, thoughtful interaction, remember this: she is not flirting superficially. She is engaging psychologically. She is seeking to understand your mind, your presence, and your authenticity. Respond not with effort, but with calm intelligence. Let your composure, clarity, and insight lead the way. Because psychological connection is far more enduring, far more magnetic, and far more meaningful than anything physical ever could be. In the end, those who master the art of psychological presence will never be forgotten, and those who recognize it in others will always stand out. One of the most profound secrets about younger women's attraction to older men is how they mirror energy when they feel genuine interest. This is not imitation in the childish sense, nor is it a superficial act designed to manipulate. It is a subtle, instinctive response, a reflection of psychological resonance. She adjusts her rhythm, her tone, and her presence to match yours. And in doing so, she communicates far more than words ever could. When a younger woman mirrors an older man's energy, it is a sign that she recognizes something extraordinary in him. She sees his composure, his intentionality, his quiet confidence, and she unconsciously aligns herself with it. This alignment is not merely attraction. It is a signal that she is emotionally invested in understanding and connecting with the depth of who you are. Mirroring is one of the most powerful indicators of connection because it demonstrates unconscious engagement. If you are calm, deliberate, and measured, she will respond with the same pace. If you are confident and grounded, she softens and allows her curiosity to take the lead. The moment you become aware of this dynamic, you recognize its significance. It is not about control, nor is it about submission. It is a reflection of respect and admiration for the qualities she perceives in you. This is why older men often feel a profound sense of magnetism when a younger woman is drawn to them, not because of words, gestures, or physical appearance, but because of the resonance created through energy, presence, and emotional alignment. What makes this behavior so compelling is its subtlety. Most men are conditioned to notice overt signals, flirting, compliments, laughter, and obvious attention. But when she mirrors your energy, she communicates on a level that bypasses all of these superficial cues. She is creating a silent dialogue, one that exists between your presence and her response to it. The way she moves, the way she listens, the way she slightly shifts to match your rhythm, all of these are indicators that she perceives your emotional and psychological framework, and she is choosing to engage with it intentionally. This is why psychological attraction is far more enduring than physical attraction. It requires awareness, attunement, and depth. It is critical to understand that this mirroring is not passive. It is active, instinctive, and deeply human. She is reading your emotional cues, evaluating how you maintain composure under observation, and subtly adjusting her own energy to match yours. This behavior allows her to feel safe and understood in your presence, while also creating a space where genuine connection can emerge. The older man who recognizes this sees it not as a game to win, but as a rare opportunity to cultivate an authentic relationship of respect, attention, and mutual curiosity. Many men misinterpret mirroring as manipulation, thinking she is trying to trick them or test them in a shallow way. In reality, it is a reflection of attraction and recognition. She mirrors because she admires your presence, because she senses stability and composure, and because she wants to create a connection that is reciprocal rather than superficial. Every gesture, every pause, every subtle adjustment she makes in her energy is designed to signal alignment, not control. She is saying, in the quietest way possible, I see you, I respect you, I am willing to match your energy because it resonates with me. The lesson for any man who wishes to understand this dynamic is simple yet profound. Your energy matters more than your words. Your calm, your composure, and your grounded confidence are magnetic. They are signals that draw her in, that make her want to align, and that inspire admiration without needing to be verbalized. When a younger woman mirrors your energy, it is a silent affirmation of the kind of man you are. Someone who carries himself with intentionality, presence, and authenticity. Recognizing and honoring this is not just smart, it is transformative. So, the next time you notice a younger woman subtly matching your rhythm, your tone, or your energy, do not ignore it. Do not misinterpret it as trivial or incidental. It is one of the clearest indicators of genuine attraction and respect. Respond by maintaining your presence, staying grounded, and embodying the qualities that she mirrors. In doing so, you do not just attract, you create a space where authentic connection, admiration, and deep respect naturally flourish. Because, in the end, mirroring is not just a sign of attraction, it is a reflection of the power you carry simply by being yourself. And the men who understand this, who honor it, and who act with awareness, are the ones who will be remembered, respected, and genuinely desired in ways that transcend age, appearance, or circumstance.